but what we specialize in is unorthodox traffic generation. So we were talking about earlier, I do a lot of these interviews. It's the same keyword research, AdWords, SEO, blah, blah, blah. And I sort of come in and say to people, let us work as sort of an internal CMO and
Yep.
let us come up with unorthodox ways to get you traffic, places
Love
you
it.
hadn't even thought of.
Hmm. So would love to kind of pick your brain on that a little bit more. So when I think unorthodox traffic, I don't really know what that means. So what are some strategies or some tactics rather you're using to help generate some unorthodox traffic?
So you go where the people are that
Hmm.
aren't being served high cost per click ads, right? So if you run AdWords and you try to bid for the main keywords, you're just going toe for toe with a client, right? You're
Yep.
all day long, you're paying personal injury goes up to like $120 a click. So it's
Ooh.
just like you're not getting anywhere really.
Yeah.
With SEO, it's great because if you go to sell the business, it's sort of like renting versus owning. You've built this funnel with SEO, but it costs a lot of money, and you put a lot of money into it, backlinks, content, etc. What I've been doing over the past 12 to 24 months is sort of realizing, okay, where are the people, and how can we get them at a lower cost per click, lower acquisition than your competitors? So, for example, one easy way to do this is to just search the keywords in your industry. Say it's
Mhm.
like divorce lawyer Toronto. Maybe Quora comes up. Maybe there's clients on Quora that need answers. Maybe YouTube comes up. Those
Yep.
YouTube results are on page one. Are you responding to comments there? Do you have videos there? Maybe you go on Pinterest and do some pins. Maybe you're leveraging AI to be on TikTok and that's showing up on page one. And so what we define as SEO traditionally has completely shifted in that sense.
Yep.
And so you have to get nimble and creative.
Yep.
And so that's what we've come up with for clients is sort of like, okay, what are your competitors doing? How do we do it cheaper? How do we do it more creative? And then how do we continue to bring in this younger generation with the attention span of, 5 seconds?
Yeah, that's awesome. So how do we get the TikTok generation to respond to these ads? Maybe don't meet them where they are, it sounds like. Don't try to get them to go where you want them to go.
Yeah, and don't try to make content that's cringy and appealing to them and
Yeah.
isn't inauthentic. And some lawyers trying to be like he's 21 years old. I mean, I think there is something with lawyers where, from a branding and content perspective, I don't want a lawyer that's acting like a clown. I
Yeah.
don't want a lawyer that's trying to be a star. There's nothing about that appeals to me. But that being said, it's a really fine line because you also want to be approachable because
Yeah.
lawyers are traditionally seen as pompous and, off-putting in a lot of ways. So you can kind of figure out how do I be myself? And it might just be getting on your iPhone in your car and talking.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like that authenticity you're trying to bring for your clients. And I really love the approach of meeting clients where they are. So it's not just rankings, keywords. It's figuring out where clients are going. So how do you enact that strategy on a scalable level though? So what are some ways that you're telling clients to be where the clients are? What are some real world tactics that they're doing or you're helping them?
I start with always asking people when they contact me, what are we selling?
Yeah.
And it's so funny. Some people will run a business for 5 years and they don't know the unique value proposition. It's like, okay, I'm a family law firm. Great. There's thousands of those. But what are we actually selling? And it's like, when I go to your website, what is it evoking? What are the colors evoking? The fonts?
Yeah.
Am I a woman and there's 12 dudes and I don't see myself
Yeah.
represented and maybe I'm clicking off?
Yep.
So it really starts with sort of a branding session, figuring out what we are, what's interesting about us. With Diamond, it was really tough advocacy, right? You've got these billion-dollar insurance companies that are going to come after you, and your best bet is to go with a big law firm that is willing to take them on
Hmm.
because then you won't get pushed aside. So that was
Yeah.
an easy sell. Or I had a divorce lawyer client, and we realized, looking through the numbers, we realized 70% of divorces were initiated by women. So we actually realized, oh, this was a play to get females, and we were
Is
going
that
where the
true?
females
70%?
were. Yeah,
Wow. Yeah.
it's interesting stat. So we went
Yeah.
where the women were. We ran radio ads where the women were,
Yeah.
where the competitors did the ego play. They're on the sports stations trying to impress their bros. And we were thinking, oh, the women are actually here, and let's make creative for women. And
I love
suddenly it's
that.
a better campaign. So I think what it is when you come to an agency, you really have to. We're not traditional in any sense, and you kind of come to us, and we're a business partner. We're
Yeah.
thinking, how do we scale you in 12 months, 24 months, and that's
And it
everything.